God, the remover of sorrow. There are many who believe that God is the one who gives sorrow and God is the one who creates sorrow, because when people find themselves in distressing situations, God tends to be blamed for them. I mean, it's commonplace to find a clause in an insurance policy contract that describes a disaster as an act of God. So God has achieved quite, or earned, shall I say, quite a bad reputation from humanity. Let us start there. Does God create any sorrow within humanity?
What happens is that God knows what creates happiness and what creates sorrow, but people don't know. Are people who have assumed or made up that God is like this and God is like that, but actually a lot of it is, in a court of law, it would be slanderous. But a time has to come when God has to say, look, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I don't do. So now you have to come to terms with that. So in terms of the natural calamities that are called of God, because if you look at the scriptures, a lot of these, thunders and lightning and, miracles and disasters and all of that are seen in terms of this is God doing it, and of course it goes back to a pre-monotheistic approach where they talk of the gods, and Thor, the god of thunder, is the one who creates thunderstorms, and in India you have Indra, which is similar to Thor, the god of rain, who of course brings some thunderbolts as well. So I think that some of that mythology is still going on in people's minds. And then they mix that up with superstition and blind faith and an unwillingness to take responsibility for the consequences of their actions, which occur in time periods that extend beyond the length of one lifetime. If something happens to you and you can see the cause and effect is right in front of you, you eat contaminated food, you get sick very quickly, you can see cause and effect. You're not going to blame God for it because you can see it. But when the connection is more tenuous, that's when you tend to blame God. Another thing that we have in the sort of conventional morality in the culture that we live in, people say, don't give sorrow, but they don't say, don't take sorrow. Whereas God, who becomes the teacher, will say, don't take sorrow. It's in your hands whether or not you take sorrow. And it is not recommended to take sorrow, but rather make yourself as a detached observer, because do not give sorrow. Clearly, it would be a sin to give sorrow, but what people don't realize is that it's not less of a sin to take sorrow. So then people will say, well, how can I not take sorrow if someone's giving it to me? And God would say, well, yeah, you have the possibility to not take it. You can be a detached observer. Don't internalize it, don't take it in, because it will contaminate you, and that is in your hands. So God as the teacher, God as the one who knows the laws of spirituality, the laws of karma, will say very clearly, which is not new, if you do good action, if you do charitable action, you will experience happiness. You will benefit, you will profit. Conversely, if you do a bad action, you will get sorrow. God is not required to give happiness or sorrow. It's an automatic consequence of the laws of action and reaction.